Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 16.2B. I've entitled this video, Religious Traditions of South Asia. This video is going to cover pages 500 to 501. Religious Traditions. South Asia is the birthplace of several major religions. The first of these is Hinduism. Hinduism has no one founder and no one holy book, though Hindus believe in the concept of dharma, or righteous action, karma, which means there's action and consequence, and moksha, liberation. Hindus usually pay respect to the Vedas and take part in religious rituals either at home or in a local temple. Question number 1. What two things does Hinduism not have that other major religions have? It does not have any one founder, and it does not have one holy book. Question 2. What is the concept of dharma to Hindus? So as we see the definition that I found online here, the shortened version is dharma is righteous action. If you look at the definition of dharma, it basically is the universal law or concept that one has a specific duty or responsibility to uphold. Number 3, what is karma? Karma, as the shortened version up here says, action and consequence. Karma is the idea that how you behave now can have ripple effects for the future. And so if you do something nice for people, then kindness will be returned to you. If you're mean to people, then meanness will be returned to you somehow. So that's the concept of karma. Question number 4. What is the concept of moksha? Moksha is the ultimate goal of personal spiritual development for some schools of Hinduism, meaning it is what their ultimate goal is to have. If you believe in Hinduism, they believe that moksha is what you're trying to obtain, that ultimate goal of personal spiritual development. Hindus believe in reincarnation, or the rebirth of a soul in another body. Related to this idea is karma, the belief that actions in this life can affect your next life. After many lifetimes, an enlightened soul can be released from the reincarnation cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. Then the soul enters nirvana, a state of eternal bliss. Question number 5. What is the concept of reincarnation to Hindus? It is the belief that your soul is reborn or rebirthed into another body. So you just keep going your soul into different bodies until eventually the goal is to get to nirvana, which is our next question. What is the concept of nirvana to Hindus for question number 6? That is the eventual goal of reincarnation in the Hindu belief is to get to nirvana, which is the state of eternal or forever bliss. Around 500 BC, two new religions arose in South Asia in response to Hinduism and its emphasis on the caste system. The first was Jainism. This religion was based on the Hindu principle of ahimsa, or non-injury. Followers of Jainism turned from farming to commerce so they would not have to kill or injure any living creature. So we can see a couple of questions here to cover. Question number 7. What new religion arose in South Asia in response to Hinduism and its use of the caste system? Jainism. Question 8. Why did followers of Jainism switch from farming to commerce jobs? Well, for people that were farming, there's a good chance you were going to have to kill living creatures. And under the concept that they believed in, the ahimsa, they did not want to harm anyone because life of all equality is the same. So whether you are in a different animal's body or a human body, we all have the same, we should be all protected. So one way to not harm creatures is to get out of farming and to make your money in commerce. So that is why followers of Jainism switched from farming to commerce jobs. The second new religion began in northeastern India. It was founded by a noble prince named Siddhartha Gautama. When he was 29 years old, Siddhartha gave up his wealthy lifestyle and traveled in poverty, searching for spiritual truth. He reached his goal at the age of 35 and became known as the Buddha, or the Enlightened One. He passed on to his followers what he believed to be the 4 noble truths. Life is full of suffering. The cause of suffering is selfish desire. Suffering can be stopped by conquering desire. Desire can be conquered by following the 8 Eightfold Path? Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right way of living, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Question number 9. What new religion arose in northeastern India by the noble prince Siddhartha Gautama? And that would be Buddhism. Question number 10. What did Siddhartha Gautama become known as, which means the enlightened one? The Buddha. Question 11. What was the first of the Four Noble Truths proposed by Buddha? Number 1, the first noble truth is that life is full of suffering. Question 12. What was the second of the Four Noble Truths proposed by Buddha? The cause of suffering is selfish desire. Question 13. What was the third of the Four Noble Truths proposed by Buddha? That suffering can be stopped by conquering desire. And question 14. What was the fourth of the Four Noble Truths proposed by Buddha? That desire can be conquered by following the Eightfold Path and all those right things. Right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right way of living, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Buddhists, like Jains, largely rejected the caste system. Hinduism remains the major religion throughout India today, as you can see on this map of the world's religions. Buddhism has spread to other Asian countries, while Jainism remains a small but vibrant religion in India. So now we can answer question number 15. What is the major religion in India today? That is Hinduism. Question 16. Which continent is Buddhism most commonly found today? Asia. Question 17. Which country would you most likely find Jainism being practiced today? In India. It's not as big as Hinduism, but it hasn't really spread that far, and so you would most commonly find it in India. 3 Indian empires. The Aryan civilization faded by 500 BC. Around 200 years later, another power arose, the Mauryans. The Mauryans conquered much of South Asia. Their most famous ruler was named Ashoka. Ashoka, a highly successful warrior, he converted to Buddhism around 260 BC and adopted a life of non-violence. His conversion influenced many people throughout the subcontinent. Trade and culture thrived under his rule. Question number 18. Which group conquered much of South Asia around 200 to 300 BC? In that time, it would be the Mauryans. Question number let me find where I'm at. Question number 19. What are some reasons why Ashoka became the most famous ruler of the Mauryans? Well, he was a highly successful warrior, so he was very successful in conquering. He then converted to Buddhism. He lived a life of non-violence after, of course, his successful warrior days. And then basically people are like, wow, if he's able to convert to Buddhism, we should do that too. And also trade and culture thrived under his rule, so people were prosperous when he was in charge. Hundreds of years later, another empire, the Guptas, managed to unify much of northern India. Under the ruler Chandragupta I, science, medicine, mathematics, and the arts flourished. Gupta scholars developed the decimal system in mathematics that we still use today. Question number 20. What was the second group of people that took over power in India hundreds of years after the Mauryans? That would be the Guptas. Question 21. What 4 things flourished under the rule of Chandragupta I? Science, medicine, math, and the arts. Question 22. What did Gupta scholars develop that we still use in mathematics today? The decimal system. Finally, during the 1500s and 1600s, India witnessed the flowering of a third great empire, the Mughals. In contrast to earlier emperors, Mughal rulers were Muslim rather than Hindu. Under Mughal rule, many South Asians converted to Islam for a number of reasons, including forced conversions, economic gain, and escaping the jizya, or tax, imposed on all non-Muslims. Question number 23. What was the third group of people that took over power in India during the 15 to 1600s AD? That would be the Mughals. Question number 24. What religion did the Mughals practice? The Mughals actually were Muslim rather than Hindu, so that was different. Question 25. What were 3 reasons why many South Asians converted to Islam during the Mughal rule? Number 1, some of them were forced. There were forced conversions, people that said, you will be this religion. Secondly, to improve their economy, economic gain. And third, to not have to pay the tax called the jizya, the tax on anyone who was non-Muslim. Many Mughal rulers were fairly tolerant and generally did not support forced conversion of Hindus. Akbar the Great, pictured in the top right, who ruled from 1556 to 1605, was a devoted Muslim, but he encouraged freedom of religion. He regularly held discussions with religious scholars. As with the Mauryans and the Guptas, culture, science, and the arts flourished under the Mughals. The architectural monument known as the Taj Mahal, pictured bottom left, was constructed by the 5th Mughal emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his beloved wife. And you see that pictured bottom right. Question number 26. What did the ruler Akbar the Great encourage under his rule? Freedom of religion. And that's one of our founding principles with our government, having the freedom of religion. And 27. What iconic structure did the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan construct in memory of his beloved wife? The amazing structure known as the Taj Mahal. Well, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, I've got 2 things for you. According to legend, upon the completion of the Taj Mahal, Emperor Shah Jahan decreed that every person that helped build the mausoleum would have their hands lopped off so that they may never be able to build something to rival the Taj Mahal's beauty. Wow. And secondly, karma. This is a clever joke about karma. Karma is when you use the last roll of toilet paper without replacing it and are the next person to use the bathroom. That is karma. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.